Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Ken Jackson, doing a little late night streaming. Wanted to come on and talk to y'all about a few things. Now, I was on the other day. What up, everybody? It's your boy. Yeah, let me turn this down. Uh, what's up, Mac Williston and Zach? Hey, Zach, what's going on, bruh? Taurus. All right, so anyway, I wanted to come back on and talk to you all about what's going on in the world. The other day, it's kind of all over the place and off the rails, and that was on purpose. And the reason I did it like that is because I wanted to demonstrate to y'all uh, what our president is doing. This guy comes on, he tweets, he gives incoherent press conferences. It seems like everything he does uh, in our eyes looks like a stupid move, or looks like something that he's doing kind of incoherently. But let me tell you this: I don't think Donald Trump is as stupid as a lot of people thinks he is. I think what he's doing is a planned and purposeful uh, uh, process in order to keep the country in disorder. Now, let me tell you why I believe this. I've always been of the mindset that the elites uh, keep us common folk fighting amongst ourselves, because as long as we're fighting amongst ourselves, we're not really paying attention to what they're doing. And Donald Trump, from day one, has been nothing but a disruption for our government. Um, and we knew he was going to be this way. We knew this uh, long before he got elected. Even during the campaign, there were signs that he was going to be a problem for the American people. I mean, he will tell an outright lie. He just lied earlier today uh, about a historic event that did not happen. But what Donald Trump is doing, I think, is very orchestrated and very calculated. And if we're not careful, if we continue to be complacent, we're going to end up losing our country, and we're going to end up with a dictatorship on our hands. Now, you think it can't happen, but neither did the German people twice. Uh, Neither did the Italians during World War II. They didn't think they would end up the way that they did under Mussolini. Um, the Iraqis never thought that Saddam would become the dictator that he was. Fidel Castro is another example of the people being complacent, and so it's very important that we all pay attention to what's going on, because we're going to have a problem, or we already have a problem. Um, the white supremacists now are feeling emboldened because our president has pretty much endorsed their propaganda. He's endorsed um, uh, their way of thinking. And hey, if the president's on board with it, it must be okay, right? So listen, people, this is a very, very serious situation. You also notice that North Korea is not an issue anymore. You know what I'm saying? It seems like every other day, Donald Trump does something or says something to keep the general public off balance. And the media falls right into the trap. The media on both sides falls right into the trap, because they keep reporting on this stuff, and they keep it out front. But what needs to happen is, one, we need to quit, listening to so much of the media. And I'm not saying turn the media completely off, because they do provide a lot of information that we need to have, but you need to pay attention to what's being said, and you need to pay attention to this entire process. We are in the most dangerous times of our lives, people, and that's no joke. Um, I think that if something drastic doesn't happen soon in terms of getting Donald Trump impeached, getting him out of office or whatever. And I'm not preaching about no revolutions or nothing like that, because that's the last thing we need. But we need to get him out of office, and we need to do it the right way. Now, to all my friends out there that are Trump supporters, I've had some chats with you all over the past few days, and I found that you are definitely diehard, racist, ignorant ass motherfuckers that I never thought you were before. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm convinced that some of you support the white supremacist movement. I'm totally convinced that some of you are afraid of losing your white privilege. And hey, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. I can't change your mind. I can't change your heart. But the bottom line is this, all right? You will not win, okay? You just won't win. Hatred never wins. Evil never wins. It might look like it's winning now, and you might think that times are changing for the better for you and your cause, but it's really not. All right? Don't get it twisted. Don't think that the rest of the country and the rest of the world are just going to bow down to your hateful ways and your hateful preachings and practices, and just roll over and let let this cancer take over. It's not going to happen. All right. We got guns too. All right. Now, I'm not saying for everybody to go out there and arm up and get ready for the revolution, but get ready for the revolution, because if things keep going the way they are now, we're definitely going to have a revolution here in this country, and it's not going to be good. And it's something we definitely don't need to happen. Now, and it's funny because all the other countries are looking at us now, looking at the United States, and I'm quite sure, they're rolling over, crying, laughing, at us, thinking, how could we have elected such an obvious bad choice to lead our country? I mean, it's not like Donald Trump was trying to hide who he was. It's not like he was, trying to be, deceptive or move in secret. It was plain and clear. It was obvious who he was and what he was about. But something I learned in the military was that some of the best tactics for escape and evasion was hide in plain sight. And that's exactly what Donald Trump's done. He's been hiding in plain sight for all these years, doing all the bullshit that he does, preaching all the bullshit that he preaches about. And it's not so much that so many people went out there and voted for him and got him in office. I blame you people that didn't go out and vote. The ones that stayed home that day because you believed the some of the fake news that was put out about Hillary. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Hillary ass kisser. She's a politician, just like the rest of them. And yes, she has lied through her teeth about a lot of things. However, we knew what we were getting had we elected Hillary. You know what I'm saying? We knew what we were getting when we elected Donald Trump. Now, my question to you is America greater now? Is America greater yet? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, quite honestly, as a black man in America, has America ever been great? I mean, yeah, we have plenty of opportunities, to achieve great things, acquire wealth, and acquire material things. But on a fundamental level of human rights and human decency, has America ever been great? Now, let's be truthful. In the past, I've talked about the black community and how the black community needs to be honest about some of the bullshit they co-sign. America, we as Americans need to be, kind of honest too about the bullshit we co-sign as a country. You know, we've been at war the past 20 years, fighting in other people's country, and for what? How many Americans really has ISIS killed? You know, you follow what I'm saying? The police in America, um, and American citizens in general have killed far more people than any terrorist organization in the past 15 or 20 years. You understand what I'm saying? We got our guys and our girls over in these foreign lands fighting wars for what? To keep other people rich. And it's about time for it to stop. But the only way it's going to stop is if we wake up, we the people wake up and take action. Next time midterm elections are coming around pretty soon. Y'all need to get out there and vote. You need to really, really, really understand who you're voting for next time you go to the ballot box. You need to start now doing your research on these people that are putting their hats in the rings, the ones that are running for local, state, and regional offices. These are the most important offices. These are the most important positions that you need to be voting for. You know, you follow what I'm saying? Because these are the ones that affect things at the federal level, for the most part. But a lot of people don't participate in the process. It's a shame that really only about 25% of our entire population actually takes part in the election process. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of registered voters, a lot of people out there that are eligible to vote that just don't go vote. And if we don't take part, then we really can't complain about what we get. So think about that. Think about that. Now, I want to know, I see some of y'all in the feed here. Send me some questions. What are some of the things that you're feeling right now about what's going on? I mean, it's because it really is a serious issue. And I know a lot of you talk about this stuff because I see some of your posts, on social media throughout the day. And obviously you see some of mine. A lot of times I'll post some, real dumb shit, but because of social media, but also there's a lot of serious stuff that I post about too, a lot of stuff that I read, and I try to understand, what other people are thinking and what other people are feeling. So please, if you got any questions, please shoot them at me, and let's talk about it. Now coming up next week, we're going to have our phone lines hooked back up. So we'll be able to take live calls, and that's really going to be fun to be able to have you all participate in the conversation audibly. All right? So I don't know if you can hear the music in the background, but I'm here at the studio tonight. There's some guys back there working. Not quite sure what they're working on, but they're working. But back to the subject at hand. Donald Trump. Has he made America great yet? Do you think he still can? And this question is for you guys that supported him. This is a question for you people that continue to support him. How can you continue to support him after just the past couple of days? I can understand, up until prior to this white supremacist stuff going down, some of you diehards, but I don't really understand how anybody can continue to support this guy right now after what he said in the past few days. And then he doubled and tripled down on it today. Basically, we saw who the real Donald Trump was, or is, rather. And I believe we have a card-carrying white supremacist in the White House right now. And it's such a shame that this is what it's come to after having our first black president. President Obama was not a bad president. I don't care what you say. There's a lot of you people in my feed that are still trying to put down the Obamas. But the Obamas held that office for 8 years. They held their heads up high, and they did it with class. Michelle Obama, hands down, in my opinion, is the classiest first lady we've ever had. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. That's what America is all about. We don't have to agree on everything, and we can agree to disagree. But what we have now is truly, truly dangerous, and definitely not what I expected would ever happen in this country. And thank God I'm not in the military now. I would hate to be on active duty right now serving under this guy. There's no way I could stand to call him my commander in chief. There's no way I could. I don't think I could even follow an order from this guy, because I believe he's going to get us into a really hot and dangerous war, either in a foreign country or right here on our own soil. And the last thing I ever want to see is American soldiers on the ground here at home. That's something that should never happen, but it could happen. So don't for 1 minute get it twisted and think that it can't. Because the minute you let your guard down, that's when shit starts to creep in. The minute you start being complacent, that's when shit starts to take over. And then before you know it, it's too late. All right? So everybody, y'all got to start paying attention. Nah, Taurus, I don't think they care. I really don't. There's a lot of people out here that just don't care. I notice even still a lot of people that I deal with on a daily basis, they got this attitude, well, it's not affecting me in my house right now, so why should I worry about it? But it is affecting you in your house right now. It may not be affecting you directly, but it's definitely having an effect on your future. So if you do have that attitude that it's not affecting you right now, you're stupid. You're stupid. Don't be stupid. Open your eyes, people, to what's happening. All right? Let's talk about these Confederate monuments and these flags. Okay, all I hear on the news and from people is that those of us that are against them are trying to erase history. We're not trying to erase history. Let me explain to you something. Museums are designed to preserve history. That's what they are for. Okay? You want to have Confederate monuments? You want to see the Confederate flag? Fine. Put that shit in the museum. All right? History preserved. But you got to understand this, people. The Confederacy was an armed rebellion against the United States. Think about that. It was an armed rebellion against the legal government of this country. They lost the war, okay? The Confederacy lost. Therefore, when you lose a war, you do not get to fly your flags and you do not get to erect monuments to your war heroes in the country that you lost. And I'm all for preserving history because, yes, the Civil War is a very, very important part of U.S. history, and it should be preserved. But like I said, in a fucking museum. Put that shit in the museum, and if you want to go see it, you go pay your entry fee, and you go see it, and you learn about that shit in the museum. All right? I think they should teach about it in school, It's part of our history, so yes, it should be taught. But should we have statues of Robert E. Lee on horseback, on public in city and state and federal properties? Hell no. This ain't the Confederate States of America. It's the United States of America. All right? Now, I'm not that big into monuments and things of that nature anyway, but if there's going to be some fucking monuments up, let's put monuments up to true heroes of this country. Let's put some monuments up of like Thurgood Marshall, um, um, and some of the other uh, heroes of the Black Civil Rights Movement. Let's, put some Union generals up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, if you won, you get to fly your flag, you get to put up your monuments. If you lost, you don't get none of that shit. It goes in the museum, history preserved. Need I say more? I mean, it's that simple. I can't really understand what all the back and forth is about in regards to this stuff. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of you will be like, yo, Ken, it really isn't that simple, but it is that simple. It really is that simple. If you put that shit in the museum, how is history being erased? Does it have to be out on the front lawn of the state capitol in order to prove that it was a part of our nation's history? No, it doesn't. So yes, it is that simple. That shit goes to a museum. I might even go pay to see some of it. I might even pay to go read about and learn about some of it, because I don't know all there is to know about that time. But we should know. We should know as much as we possibly can about our past, because if we don't know about our past, we damn sure going into the future with blinders on. So it's very important, that yes, that stuff is preserved. But again, and I can't say it enough, put that shit in a museum. I don't want to see it on the steps of the state capitol. I don't want to see it in front of City Hall. Okay? I really don't. You lost. Plain and simple. The Confederacy lost the war. So all you rednecks out there, all you rebel flag waving motherfuckers out there running around talking about the South shall rise again and all of that bullshit, yo, take this motherfucking L, sit your dumb ass down somewhere, and get with the program. This is the United States. And that goes for all of y'all. I don't care, on both sides, white, black, or otherwise. I get a lot of people in the black community, talking to me about how they don't feel like they're part of this country. God damn it, you was born here, you're part of this country. All right? So instead of crying about it and getting upset about it, get your ass out there and do something about it. Okay? If that means you got to march a little bit, then march. I remember the speech, I can't remember exactly which speech, so damn it, don't ask me to get specific, but I do remember Martin Luther King saying one time that he was tired of marching. And he was looking forward to the day that black folk didn't have to march again. So listen, we the people have the power, but we the people got to come together. And we got to remind these assholes in city government, state government, and the federal government who they work for. And the only way to do that is to get involved. Maybe some more of us common folk need to start running for office. But whatever, these people need to be checked. They're public servants. And that goes for you police officers out there too. Some of y'all need to be checked as well. I know you've heard some of my comments in the past, talking about, I honestly don't believe there's any such thing as a good cop. And that's not to say that every man that wears or every woman that wears the uniform is a bad person. What I mean by that is that the good cops know who the bad cops are. And for the ones who don't do or say anything about it, it makes you just as bad, if not worse, than those bad cops. That's all I mean by it. So don't read too deeply into it. Don't be taking shit personal and getting all pissed off and saying Ken hates cops, because no, I don't hate cops. But what I do hate is when you have people who are sworn to protect us, the citizens, sworn to serve us, the citizens, will go 10 miles to protect those that wear the same uniform they wear just because they wear the same uniform they wear. Okay? You were an American citizen before you were a cop. So if you know there's assholes wearing a uniform, if you know there's assholes wearing a badge that are out there doing the wrong things and you're not saying anything about it, you're not bringing it to the public attention, and you're not doing anything to stop it, then you're just as bad as they are and you get no respect from me. Plain and simple. I know you guys got a hard job to do. Hell, we all got a hard job to do. It's hard just living nowadays. The cost of living is out of control. Everything is just out of control. So people need to slow down. We need to take a step back, and we need to figure out what our priorities in life are. Because somewhere in the past 20 or 30 years, shit started drifting to the left. And now it's just crazy. It's just really, really crazy now. I literally worry now during the days if it's going to be safe for my kids to show up at school. Here in South Florida, we're in the heart of Trump country. That's all I see when I drive around St. Lucie County right now. Trump Pence banners and Trump flags and big pickup trucks with Trump written on the back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they run deep down here, and we have a very large Klan organization right here in St. Lucie County, and some of them I know. Some of these guys I know personally. I've known them for a few years. And I often wonder, is the day going to come where I have to confront these guys, or I have to protect myself from these guys and ladies? It's no big secret. You know what I'm saying? And I'm quite sure wherever you're at, wherever you're living at, I'm sure you know a few people that are involved in, or even some that you might suspect might be involved in some of these hate groups. But we gotta be vigilant, y'all. We gotta understand what it's all about. And quite honestly, it's not about black or white, but it's really about the haves and the have-nots. Because those that have want to continue to have, and those that have not want to have. Now, I've always believed that there's enough for everybody to have some. But you got a few greedy people at the top. They're going to make sure that they hold on to as much of it as they can. And that's what it's coming down to, folks. That's what it's really all about. I see, because we got to worry about North Korea. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying North Korea is not a threat. Because technically the North Korean war is still on. And that little fat man over there is dangerous. His whole family's been dangerous for a lot of years, but I don't believe he's as much as a threat as our government would like to make him. I mean, Donald Trump has really been trying to provoke him, into doing something that would give him a reason to start shooting. And trust me, we don't want to start shooting at the North Koreans. Granted, one on one, we'd annihilate them. There's no doubt about it. But listen, and millions of people would die in South Korea, and then the Chinese would get involved. And we don't want to. We don't want to go to war with the Chinese. We don't want to go to war with anybody, really. We're stretched out right now, man. Like I said earlier, we've been fighting for the last 20 years. Look, actually, the United States has been in some sort of combat, for the last 150 or so years, give or take a year or two. There might have been a little break in between, but we've been involved in some bullshit for quite a long time. And all it's doing is making somebody else rich somewhere. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, pay attention to what's going on in North Korea, but also pay attention to what's going on here at home. Because a house divided cannot stand. And our house is damn sure divided right now. That's real talk. Nah, Taurus, you're definitely supposed to prepare, man. Prepare. Prepare to protect yourself and your family at all times. Um, but let me tell you something. If there's a nuclear strike, there ain't nothing you can do to protect against that, bro. There ain't nowhere to hide. When those mushroom seeds start raining down, really all you can do is sit back, have a drink, and wait for the bright flash. I mean, you can't run from it. That's why I don't worry about that so much, because I definitely can't control that. Hopefully, people in our government will be smart enough, people in our military will be smart enough not to follow an order, that would cause us to launch nuclear weapons. Because I think that shit would get out of control really, really quick. Do we need to worry about another 911? Absolutely. We absolutely do. Think about this. We live in an open society, right? And think about when you're going about your daily activities. Are you really aware of everything that's going on around you? Because most people are not. And quite honestly, I believe the reason we haven't had another 9/11 is not because there's great investigative work going on. I mean, I'm quite sure FBI and so-called intelligence agencies are doing all they can to find out this, that, or the other. But quite honestly, I think the only reason we haven't had another 9/11 is because right now it's not financially feasible. But the economy is strong, the stock market is strong right now. Rich people are getting richer, so there really ain't no reason for them to orchestrate another mass conflagration like 9/11. And yeah, I said it. I said it was orchestrated because it absolutely was. I believe that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that. But you, there's no way that nobody in government knew that wasn't going to go down, in some shape or fashion. It just can't happen, And what's funny is that most of those 9/11 hijackers came from a country that's supposed to be a friend to the U.S. Most of them came from Saudi Arabia. Now, I've been to Saudi Arabia several times when I was on active duty. One of the things that we learned was that you can't trust them. They don't like us. They really don't like us. And they're very gaudy. Most Saudis love their things. They love their riches. They love their gold. And they love their palaces. And, so one thing they don't love is the fact that the United States is the so-called leader of the world. They don't like that shit. Nobody really does, to tell you the truth. You know, don't think there's like all this love across the seas for the U.S. because a lot of these places we've gone to really don't like the U.S. They're afraid of the U.S. because we are the most powerful military force on the planet. That's real. That's a fact. And then they also know that Americans or America is that country that would end it all. You got to think about this. The United States is the only country in the history of known civilization that has ever used nuclear weapons in time of war. We're the only country that has dropped atomic weapons on another country. We dropped 2 of them on Japan. That ended that war with them really quick. And it was at that point the rest of the world understood that, yeah, even though a few other countries had it, well, only one other country had them at that time, the Russians. But people know that, hey, the U.S. will use them motherfuckers. We're the only ones that have. So it's quite funny, too, that our government has the nerve to tell the rest of the world what they can and can't have. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a good idea for Kim Jong-un to have nuclear weapons. I would like for him not to have them. But this goes back to that, let's be real. Let's look in the mirror and let's tell the truth. Who the hell is the U.S. to tell them they can't have? If they say they're legitimately afraid that we might nuke them one day. And they got a lot of basis to believe that possibility. Why? Because we have nuked someone in the past. So we have a history of using them. We used them twice already. So who are we, the ones who have used nuclear weapons, to tell somebody else that they can't have them? And because the reason they say they want them is to protect themselves from us who have used them before. Have you ever thought about that? What's up, Dex? No problem, Taurus. Yo, but check it out. You need to send me some lyrics. I know you tried to get at me a while back about some music, and believe me, I didn't blow you off or anything. Quite honestly, dude, I don't like rappers. I just don't. I'm just not. Especially now, I'm really not into the rap thing, so much. And even though I built my whole adult career on hip hop music, I love hip hop. I just don't like the crap that's out there now. But I got a rapper coming for y'all pretty soon. I know this is off the subject, and I'm sorry. I got a rapper coming pretty soon. He's fire. He got lyrics. He got real bars, and I can't wait to get him out there. And y'all gonna be hearing from him. Y'all gonna be hearing from him real soon. All right, so let's get back on subject though. All right, so things we need to worry about, really, we need to pay attention to what's going on here at home, because one of the things I always believed that would be the end to our country is us. I always believed that the U.S. would self-destruct. If there was going to be an end, it would be done from the inside out. And it's literally happening right now. It's kind of scary. I lay my head down at night and I'm hoping I don't wake up to fire and brimstone the next day. I'm hoping I'm not going to be waking up to riots in the streets, because it's a real possibility right now that shit can happen. I hear you, Taurus. My youngest is 17 now, and I worry about her. I got a 20-year-old, and she's out in Pensacola right now doing her thing, and I worry. I think I worry most about her because she's so far away from home. Even though she's a grown ass woman, but she's my daughter, and I love her dearly. I miss the hell out of her, and we don't always get along. We bump heads a lot, actually. But Elani, if you're watching, your father loves you. I love you to death. Don't you ever forget that. Um, and my son's out in Tallahassee going to school. I worry about him because, he's far from home too. But hey, we as parents, we gotta let them grow up. We gotta let them fly and do their things. We did. I left home at 17. I went in the Navy. I served 7 years and 3 months on active duty, and it was a good 7 years and 3 months. I really enjoyed my time in the service. I had some inactive time, some reserve time afterwards. Sometimes I wonder if I should have stayed and did 20. I don't know. I don't know how my life might have turned out. I might not have made it to 20 years. I don't know. But I did enjoy my time in the military. It was a good time. So for those of you thinking about going into the military now, I don't recommend it. Hell no. World is too damn dangerous now. And like I said, there's no way I could serve under Donald Trump. I think if I was on active duty right now, quite honestly, I'd probably go AWOL. They'd be looking for my black ass. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah, I'll shoot you my email as soon as we get off of here, man. Definitely. But anyway, I just want y'all to think about what's happening in the world right now, what's happening here in the U.S., because, man, we got to hold it down here at home. And we got to really start paying attention what's going on, because if you get caught slipping, you get caught sleeping, it could be the end. Real talk. All right, so that's my time. I didn't really mean to go this long tonight because it was unscheduled. But I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank everybody for watching. I'm your boy, Ken Jackson. This is crazybabytv.com. We're going to be streaming live on our YouTube channel also starting next week. I got my crew. They're kind of working on figuring out how we can stream to both platforms at the same time. I think we can do that. I'm not really sure. Excuse me. And then also, like I said, we're gonna be taking live call-ins too, so you'll be able to join in the conversation and be a part of the show. And that's something I'm really gonna enjoy, because I really like talking to people, and hearing your thoughts and ideas and such. All right, so until next time, this has been the Ken Jackson Show, live on Facebook. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Peace.